wanted to talk about 5 things that you need to know before you purchase your first hair topper, or even any hair topper really. Like some things you need to ask yourself before you pull the trigger, because it can be expensive buying them, returning them, you know, just trying to find the right topper for you. So you want to think of these 5 things before you take that plunge to kind of help you a little bit more, maybe have more success with your topper choice. So the first thing, and the most important in my opinion, is getting the right base for your hair loss. You want to measure your hair loss from here to here and from here to here, and then you want to add an inch to each side to get the best match for your hair loss. If you don't have the right base, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to serve the purpose of a hair topper. It's not going to help you at all. So always measure out your hair loss, and when in doubt, size up. So I always like the biggest cap size because I have very progressive hair loss. So I am going to always select the largest base cap for me. So again, you want to do that first. The second thing, you want to determine what kind of base best suits your needs. Are you someone who's really concerned with people figuring out that you're wearing a hair topper? Maybe a lace top is going to benefit you more and you can tape it down and it just looks more natural. Or maybe you have minimal hair loss and most of it's back here or down here or something like that, and you have a good hairline. You want to get a skin top or a silk topper, and that way you can incorporate your bio hair by setting it further back, and that will make you feel more natural, and that could be the best fit for you. There's also price points. You know, you've got the silk, mono, lace. You have different toppers, bases that range in price as well. So your price point, your preferences, that's going to be a big thing that you really need to look into and research. And then the length, that's another big thing. So you don't want to get one that's too short, obviously, because then your bio hair is going to kind of stick out a little awkwardly. So you want to measure and see what's going to be right. For me, 14, 12 inch work. I can even pull off a 16 inch. That's a pretty long one. I can even do that with my hair length, and this needs to be trimmed up a little bit, but you want to make sure you get the right length. The fourth is color matching. So I know that UniWigs will send you like color swatches, and so you can determine before you purchase a wig, or a hair topper, you can determine what color you want by that hair swatch. I think they also have like some customer support in that as well that will help you make that decision, help you find the right color for you. If you have a topper that you really like, you don't want to send it back to try that journey, maybe you try dyeing your bio hair to match it a little bit. That's up to you if you're comfortable with that. I did that in the beginning. I always was so nervous about what color to get that I just dyed my hair black and chose the darkest color. And I did that forever. So that was 4. So you have the cap size, the type of base that you want, depending on your preferences and your budget. And then the length of your hair, you want to get the right length, the right color. And the last thing is the type of hair. And this one is really hard when people come and ask me, hey, what kind of topper or wig should I get? Like, what do you recommend? It's very hard because, again, it's boiled down to preferences. Synthetic is going to be cheaper than human hair. However, human hair is going to have more longevity. The better you take care of it and all of that, you're going to get more bang for your buck. Even though it's more expensive, it is an investment. It's going to last longer. But then even within synthetic and human, so you have different types. So synthetic, you have heat resistant, where you can use some heat, to curl it or straighten it. And then you have the synthetic hair that you can't put any heat on it or you're gonna melt the fibers. So you have that within the synthetics. And then within human hair, you have different types of human hair. And why this is important is because you're gonna get different textures. You're gonna get different patterns when it dries. Some human hair dries board straight. Great. Love that if that's what you want. Some human hair, like Chinese Burmese hair, which is what most of these toppers, all of the toppers that I have reviewed for UniWigs have been Burmese. And the reason this is so important is because they're gonna dry, and I've got several gals here that I washed and dried and have not straightened or anything, that they dry curly. Like this one's been worn a lot, hasn't been styled at all. I washed it, dried it, and then I put it up in a ponytail, wear it under a hat, whatever. This one washed, air dried, I did nothing with it. I have done nothing to her. And this is how she curls. So again, that's your preference. If it's gonna bother you to have to straighten it every time you wash it, and it's a human hair wig or topper, then maybe you don't choose Burmese hair. Or if you're like me, who, as you saw at the beginning of this video, my hair is curly, maybe a topper that dries curly is actually preferred because you can just throw and go. You don't have to worry about styling the bio hair. And for me, any type of moisture, and I sweat a lot because I'm 40 and perimenopausal, anytime I sweat, any kind of heat, anything like that, my bio hair curls up. So I don't want to always go out. If I'm gonna go to a function, I don't always wanna go out with curly or with straight hair because I'm just gonna sweat and it's gonna curl up anyway. And the worst thing is to have your hair topper straight and your bio hair curly, because that looks kind of weird. It looks like you didn't brush underneath your hair. So that's just a hot take, personal take for me. So those are the 5 things. I'm gonna go over them very quickly again so that you have a recap. Cap size, most important. That is the most important, is the cap size. What type of base is in your budget and your preferences. The length of your topper, suit the length that's gonna work best with your bio hair. The color, again, the color matching can be hard online, but UniWigs offers you color swatches that you can get, and the type of hair. I feel like the type of hair is probably the least important, but for some people it could be super important, so I had to add that in there. So those are my 5 things that you need to know before you purchase a hair topper.